With all the chaos happening in WWE today, we are going to talk about something other than Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock, and Seth Rollins. Today, we are going to fantasy book WrestleMania 40 to a degree. Hi, everyone. I'm Travis, and welcome to the Wicked Bitter channel. So I wanted to take some time today to get into some other matches that we might see at WrestleMania, some matches that people want to see. I put a post out there talking about how I wanted a fantasy book or try to predict who's going to do what at WrestleMania. Now, this is something I might want to do a few videos of because, it's a big roster. We're not going to go through literally every single person, but if we do a few people here and there, I think it'll work out pretty well. There's some matches that I think are kind of obvious for people, and, we kind of understand where it's going. The Rock, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes thing, we're going to kind of just put that to the side for now. I'm going to make a separate video diving more into that because more things have come about from SmackDown with Triple H kind of directing a lot of Rock's own catchphrases to The Rock. And a lot of people are talking about maybe a potential tag team match, maybe a couple of different type of scenarios. So we'll get into that in a separate video. But today I want to talk about a few different superstars on the roster that I'm just trying to kind of get an idea of what they might be doing for WrestleMania. Now, fantasy booking is something I love to do. I've done it forever. I've been a fan of pro wrestling since I was 7, so it's been a long time. I can't think of how many years it's been off the top of my head right away, but it's something I've always loved to do. Even when I play sports games on PlayStation, I like to do fantasy drafts, and it's just something fun I like to do. Before we dive into it, I want to, first of all, thank you all for checking out this video here on the Wicked Bitter channel, and for clicking this video specifically. I know my Cody Rhodes stuff went up, kind of blew up a little bit, which is awesome. I love that, and I appreciate all the love and support and all the feedback you all have been giving to me, and the emails and comments. All that kind of stuff's great. But if you're somebody who's this is your first time here or you're not subscribed to the channel yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you just hit subscribe. If you've liked this video, to like the video, to comment on it, to share it with people you know. It really will help the channel out big time. And, my goal is to eventually, hopefully, get some guests on this show and or on this channel. And by doing that, I'm going to need it to grow a little bit. So that's on you guys. That'd be great if you all would feel inclined to do so. I'm not going to force anyone to do anything, but if you like this content, you like this video, please give it a shout, a like, a follow, a subscription, whatever you feel like doing would be great. If not, hey, welcome anyway, and try to enjoy the video here with us, and let's get into it. I got a couple of people I wrote down here, Rhea Ripley being one of them. I feel like the obvious choice, because they've teased it so much, is Becky Lynch. Now, I don't know if because they've teased it this much that they're just kind of just telling us what's going to happen here. Like, the only person to really get in Ripley's face has been Becky Lynch, other than Nia Jax. But the Nia Jax match is being set up for Elimination Chamber, so we have to think past that. Obviously, Rhea Ripley's going to beat Nia Jax. I don't think there's any doubt in many people's minds she's going to beat Nia. But it's what comes after that. Who wins the Elimination Chamber for the women to determine the number one contender for Rhea Ripley? Already so far, we know Becky Lynch is in there, and she seems like the favorite, right? Who else? Bianca Belair. Bianca would be another interesting option, but I'm going to come back to her a little bit later. And then there's a plethora of other women in this match, and the way it looks, it kind of just seems like it might be Becky Lynch. And if that's the case, then Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania for the championship would be great. And for people who think that Becky might win, I still feel like Ripley might win that match. Ripley beat Charlotte. I could definitely see Rhea Ripley beating Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for sure, just to solidify Rhea Ripley even more so. As far as everybody else, I guess another option would be Bianca, but I feel like there's another plan for Bianca. So Becky Lynch right now kind of looks like the front runner. An interesting one that I thought of is Sami Zayn. Where do we go? What do we do with Sami Zayn? I feel like with Sami Zayn, you can't really leave him off the main event card. You just brought him back from the Rumble. I feel like there's got to be a direction here, and I'm not quite sure what it is. And something WWE has been really good at lately is being somewhat unpredictable, at least in my standards. I usually can kind of tell where they're going with a story, or where they plan on going towards. Like, you kind of always seem like you kind of have an idea, but for some people this year, I kind of feel like it's kind of up in the air. Like even like I said in another video I'm going to do, the Rock, Roman, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes stuff, like normally every year you can kind of see where that's going. That one, there's a lot of questions about it. We know Roman Reigns versus Cody, but what's the other stuff? Because there's going to be other stuff, I feel like, but we'll get into that in another video. But yeah, Sami Zayn is one of those instances. I don't know. I think, an option would be Gunther at WrestleMania for the IC title, but I don't know. I just feel like WWE kind of is trying to put in our mind that Sami Zayn is a main event type of contender here for the World Heavyweight Championship, and I don't think we're going to get Sami versus Seth unless it turns into a triple threat later on, but we already seen that Sami Zayn lost to Randy Orton for the Chamber qualifying match to determine the number one contender for Seth Rollins' title. So Sami Zayn is a very interesting name to watch because right now I don't know what is going on with Sami. I would like to say Intercontinental Championship match. So I feel like I'm going to go with that, even though I feel like Sami is being kind of positioned as like a top contender main event type guy. But since I have nothing else for Sami right now in my mind, I mean, obviously things can change. And they're going to change. We still got some time to go. I mean, 50 days or so, roughly around that time until WrestleMania. So anything could happen. But I don't think Sami's going to be left without a match at WrestleMania. I just don't know what kind of match it's going to be. Someone else I want to get into is Kevin Owens. I mean, honestly, that's another one like Sami. Kevin, I don't know. See, originally I was thinking Kevin Owens would get a rematch or another shot at Logan Paul's championship at Chamber, but since Paul is in the Chamber, and I can't remember if Kevin Owens qualified or if he's even up. I think he's up to qualify. I don't think he's had his match yet, though. And I think maybe Owens will end up winning his match and qualifying for the Chamber, and if he does, then that means both Paul and Owens will both be in the Chamber, which I feel like is a likely scenario here, and maybe even Owens is the one that eliminates Paul, or maybe vice versa, Paul eliminates Owens from the Chamber, which will set up their match for WrestleMania. And originally I was thinking, I have it in another video, I was predicting LA Knight versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania for the U.S. Championship, but right now, I don't know. I don't know about that at all. Maybe Kevin Owens is the one, or maybe they even do a triple threat. Because WrestleMania has a lot of singles matches. I feel like we got to throw in something different here. So I'm going to say Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul versus LA Knight at WrestleMania for the U.S. Championship. Just because I feel like WWE and Triple H specifically, like Kevin Owens, that's his guy. LA Knight's his guy. And I think he wants to put them on the show. So maybe a triple threat for the U.S. Championship, but if not, then I think Owens faces Logan Paul one-on-one for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. And I feel like there at WrestleMania, Kevin Owens wins that United States Championship. But if LA Knight's in that match, I think there's a pretty good chance LA Knight wins that U.S. title. And I put down Logan Paul, not even realizing that I would have answered my own question with the Kevin Owens thing. I think Logan Paul's plan for WrestleMania is exactly that. I think it's going to be either Kevin Owens one-on-one or a triple threat with LA Knight, or even one-on-one against LA Knight. But I feel like those three guys, or at least two of the three, will be involved in that match. Logan Paul and one of the other two, or maybe both, in a match at WrestleMania. So because I picked Paul, I'm going to throw out another name. I'm going to go with Bianca Belair, which actually works with my next name, Jade. I feel like Jade versus Bianca Belair is what's going to happen at WrestleMania. There's been rumors that Jade is going to be in the Chamber match. I can kind of see that happening, but at the same time, I don't think I see it happening because Jade is going to have to get eliminated, and I don't know if WWE wants her first elimination or pinfall or loss or whatever to happen in a Chamber match, but I could be wrong because I also said that I don't think WWE would want Jade to show up in the Rumble as her first in-ring thing, but I was wrong on that, and they very well could put Jade in the Chamber, and she could get eliminated maybe by Bianca, and then that'll set up Jade versus Bianca, which is a dream match for many people, and most people might not think that it's going to happen right away, but I am one of those people that think that, yeah, why not? Let's have it happen right away. But if we do that match, who wins? Bianca or Jade? I feel like you're going to have to go with Jade with this one. I think Bianca, and we all know Bianca has that undefeated streak at WrestleMania so far. I can't remember what the exact number is. It might be something not that crazy. It might be 4-0 or something like that around that ballpark, which is cool. It'd be nice for Bianca to have a nice little streak at WrestleMania like that. But Jade, I don't know. I feel like Jade's going to face Bianca, and I feel like Jade will have to win that match because Jade can't come in with as big of a star power as they've built around her just for her to lose to Bianca. So that's pretty much all I wrote down, but I feel like I got to throw someone else out there since I really haven't. Let's go with Solo. Let's go with Solo Sikoa. I feel like he's got a role to play. You know what? No, I'm not going to go Solo because I feel like Solo is going to be involved in Roman Reigns' match no matter what it is. So I'm going to say let's go with Randy Orton and AJ Styles here. What could we do with AJ and Roman or Randy? So I think Randy has to perform at WrestleMania, but who could Randy face? I'm thinking right off the top of my head, and I know I just said no to Solo, but I could see Randy versus Solo Sikoa. I could see Randy versus Solo. Solo's had some big matches already at WrestleMania, but at some point with these big matches for Solo, we got to do something with Solo other than just being Roman Reigns' lackey or bodyguard or whatever you want to call him. We have to do something with Solo. But I can see Solo versus Randy Orton for sure. And as far as AJ Styles goes, I would say maybe because they've been teasing it a little bit lately on SmackDown, is AJ Styles versus LA Knight maybe at WrestleMania. Maybe you could do Paul versus Owens at Mania, and then AJ versus LA Knight, or maybe AJ versus Kevin Owens if we can find a way to get there. I just feel like WrestleMania, they always try to get as many people as they can on the card, and they try to figure something out. So I think they're all going to be doing something. We just don't know what exactly. So for me, I'm thinking AJ faces either LA Knight or he faces Kevin Owens, and for Randy Orton, I feel like he faces Solo, and that way they just stack this WrestleMania card as much as you can. And let me go one more. Let me go to the tag team champions here, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. This one's interesting to me. I prefer that they lose those tag team titles. Might not be a popular decision for a lot of people, but I would like for them to split up those titles again. Let's get tag team titles on SmackDown and then titles on Raw. I mean, we have a good tag team division here on WWE, and especially on SmackDown now, they got Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne together. Profits are still there. I mean, there's good tag teams on both shows. You know, Eric from the Viking Raiders is going to come back at some point. You would think that he's going to come back with Ivar or link up again with Ivar, and then that's another tag team on Raw. So I would like to see them lose their tag team titles. Now, against who? I would say maybe on the Monday Night Raw titles will go to, I would say maybe R-Truth and Miz will beat Priest and Balor for these tag team titles, the Raw ones, and I could definitely see that happening. And then maybe the very next night on WrestleMania, Priest and Balor defend those titles again, but maybe against, I mean, we can go with multiple ways. Maybe Pete Dunne and Bate again. I do think they're having that match at Chamber, so maybe not them, maybe DIY, or maybe they just hold on to the titles, but they're on SmackDown now. Or I mean, there's got to be something here. I don't think Priest and Finn should hold on to the titles for much longer, especially since I believe that Priest is going to be cashing in very soon. I would think Priest will cash in maybe at Chamber, depending on what they plan on doing with Rollins, or maybe at WrestleMania. So that's still waiting to see what happens with that. But yeah, that's all I got for now. We're going to continue to do more and more people as it gets closer to WrestleMania, and maybe the picture will become a little more clearer. But until then, I would love to know what you guys think. If you want to send emails or comment on the video, you can send emails. Let me know what you think. Who matches up with who at WrestleMania? What could we maybe see? You could do that in the comments as well. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you've liked this content and you're not subscribed to this channel yet, we would love to have you. We're building a community here on Wicked Bitter, and it's a nice wrestling community, and I love to hear from you guys. I love to talk to you guys. I try to get through all the comments and respond to everybody I can, and same for emails. Like I love the emails. I love to answer them on camera and speak to you guys that way too. So I really would appreciate the follow or a subscription, and or the like and the share and the comments and all that kind of stuff. I want this to be a pretty interactive and a cool two-way street here type of channel. But yeah, that's it for now. I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. I'm going to have another video coming out. I think I'm going to touch on some AEW stuff in another video this week. I don't know if AEW is your cup of tea or not, because I know you followed basically for the WWE stuff, but it's more wrestling we could talk about. And if not, then I have another video coming out soon too about the whole Roman Reigns, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins, and even Triple H type stuff. So yeah, I appreciate you watching, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. And until next time, have a good rest of the week if I don't talk to you before then, and I'll see you on the next video.